Hey guys! As most of you know, I'm Christie Nix, military spouse and outdoor enthusiast, and I am so excited that you're on here to take a peek what I'm up to. So 13 years ago, I was invited to an event by a doctor and his wife who was a personal trainer, total power couple. They have this huge understanding of nutrition and human performance. And I remember most of their date nights, they included running, running the trails or some sort of physical activity. Meanwhile, if you guys remember me as Mick Christie, I was that broke college student working as their nanny, eating what I could afford, which was junk in front of their children. Those 2 cheeseburger Happy Meals a day. You guys probably are some of the ones that did call me Mick Christie. You guys remember I was sick all the time. I had migraines. I was too tired to work out in my 20s. My skin was breaking out, and that kind of just seemed normal. I didn't believe that fruits and vegetables could really make that big of a difference, but the doctor and his wife that I was working for, they paid me to listen to what they had to say. So no doubt they were pretty tired of me being a horrible example in front of their high-performing athletic children who were eating spinach by the handful out of the refrigerator. But I also knew that they cared an awful lot about me, just as I do about you guys. They cared about my health and my future. And luckily, halfway around the world, around the same time I was getting information about their concentrated plant produce, a nurse was sharing the same information with Patton while he was deployed in Iraq. And you guys know I believe that nothing happens by mistake. So thankfully, this made sense to him. After all, he was living in those high-stress, austere conditions with low sleep, high stress, E. coli in the water that their cook was cooking with. He knew I ate like a frat boy back then, so he mailed me some. And when I received the box, my eyes rolled and I ate it to prove him wrong. So now, gosh, almost 10 years later, I'm eating this humble piece of pie. I'm healthier in my 30s than I ever was in my 20s. I definitely look better. I feel better. I have more energy. My skin here has cleared up, and I am recovering faster from workouts. So if you've watched my journey, this simple change has catapulted a drive and a passion in me to learn more about nutrition. One of the first defining moments for me was the China study. Most people know it as the Forks Over Knives documentary. And this is where I learned that our DNA is not our destiny. Think for a moment about what your family history of disease is and realize that we have the power to change that. I learned that plants should be the main source of fuel to keep our bodies running like a well-oiled machine. And then I learned that we should be eating 9 to 14 servings of fruits and vegetables the size of our fists. And I can tell you right now that I didn't do it 10 years ago, and I'm certainly not doing it now. So I am so thankful that I have these little plant powders. They pack such a powerful punch to back me up where I'm lacking. So through the years, I have, I've worked on one simple change at a time, but now for the past 3 years, I've been working on this monthly focus to make better changes using the Healthy Living program inside the mission that was developed by this well-known and respected doctor that I know and love. And I've also been able to, just in 1 month I've been able to lose 2 pounds of fat and gain 3 pounds of muscle. And I do this repeatedly, so I should track it more often. But what I've noticed is I've leaned out, I'm running faster, I'm lifting heavier, but most importantly, I don't know what I don't know. Life could happen to any of us at any moment. A tragedy could strike, and I have the absolute peace of mind knowing that every single morning my body gets 50 plants a day to help recover from this potential trauma. But I have some guilt that I am absolutely left with, and I knew about something so good, and I didn't share it soon enough with the people that I loved. Many of you guys know, if you've been friends with me long enough, is 6 years ago I got the call that nobody wants to get, and that was my dad dying because of reasons that could have been prevented. So 2 years prior to that, I opened my own film business, which was owning my life. First, I filmed someone else's wedding on my 1-year anniversary while Patton was actually on U.S. soil. And now I'm scrambling to put a $20,000 commercial shoot on hold to make it at home in time to say goodbye to my dad. I made it home, and 2 days later, we're making plans to bury him. At his funeral, I remember pleading with my neighbors if they could take care of my mom that winter, because I was her only child, yet I had to leave and go pack a home and get ready to move again with the military. And, I realized this tragedy was exactly the mission I needed to be a part of something, to be able to inspire healthy living and giving around the world. And I didn't ever want to be in that position of not being able to care for my mom again. And most importantly, I want to help people have more time, because I mean, the military is moving us all the time. We had our 8th move in 6 years back then, and I didn't even have time to grieve with my mom. I don't want that for the people that I love. So walking back into this new life that we have, I've looked down the road and I see that the alignment with this company is more than I could have ever imagined. It's helped me have more time with my family. It's helped me hit the top position in the company. It's allowed me to take 3-week vacations throughout the year, multiple times. I mean, most people are lucky if they're getting 2 weeks of time off each year. Recently, I've been able to help Patton get out of the active duty military after 13 years. And if you don't know it yet, we've moved back to my favorite place on earth, back to Hawaii. We purchased our 3rd home, this one being in Kailua, Hawaii. We're 1 mile away from the world's top beach. And soon this home is going to be a place where I hold retreats for my team of influencers who are motivated to impact other people's lives. And that beach that's 1 mile away, I'm going to be living on it. So right now, though, I just wake up every day knowing what I want to do the rest of my life. And after being around this mission for nearly 7 years now, I've been able to meet some incredible people along the way, like one of my favorite people, Christen, who's going to share her story with you next.
Hey everyone, I'm honored to be here, and a little bit about me. So I was a gal running my own practice as a body worker inside of a sports medicine clinic. And I was in a lot of pain physically from inflammation in my joints. And although I thought that I was really healthy as this mountain athlete living in Colorado, I didn't truly understand the power and depth of whole food nutrition. I was paying attention to carbs and proteins and calories and points, which was this super vicious cycle for me. I'd spent over a decade spinning eating disorders and anxiety and depression. But once I started understanding whole food nutrition, my body now looks and feels better at 30, and it's easier to maintain than when I was 20. I am no longer on medications to help with that anxiety and depression, and not every day is perfect, obviously. But real food through these whole food concentrates has helped heal me on so many levels. And so this sort of lifestyle is not a weight loss program, but a nice result on this journey for me has been dropping 30 pounds and being able to maintain it. I could talk about this all day because I'm so frustrated that I didn't know sooner. Know about gut health, about my microbiome. And now I know that changing that microbiome, changing my gut health with whole food concentrates with fruits and vegetables. Like Christie said, we're supposed to be getting 9 to 13 servings in fruits and vegetables the size of our fist every day. Most people don't do that. Yesterday, today, any day last week. And so now I have my body working with me instead of me feeling like I'm constantly depriving myself from cravings that were driving me insane. And not only did my cravings change, but the inflammation went down. So I can run again. My immunity has increased alongside my muscle recovery and strength. And the beautiful thing is that this is not just my testimony, but it's backed by science in journals published from some of the most prestigious labs around the country. We are the most researched nutritional product in the world. So this allowed me to see how profound the product was and open my mind up to the mission and the business. And I saw people truly owning their lives while helping others, which was why I opened my own practice in the first place. From a career standpoint, at the time, I was my own boss, and I thought I had it made in that department too. But in reality, my clients were totally dictating my schedule. And I was always tied up evenings, weekends, holidays, similar to Christie. I hadn't been home for Christmas in 7 years. And I was trading dollars for hours, which means when I wasn't working, I wasn't getting paid. So I kept working. And I became attracted to this because of what I shared with my story, my health story above. But my dad was getting off blood pressure medication. My friends who were having fertility problems were having healthy pregnancies, and the list goes on and on. I was realizing I was doing a disservice by not sharing this with others, sharing the same way I'd shared my favorite recipe or my favorite hike. So at the beginning of 2016, I said, I'm in. And in a 6-month time period, our team was able to help enough people get this whole food nutrition into their bodies that I was able to hire another therapist to take care of my clients while I went on a 2-month road trip. I was able to work from my phone. I saw that my business was growing, and I thought, wow, this is working. Like, holy shit, this is real. I'm building a legitimate business on my terms. It's super fulfilling and full of integrity. So I started going part-time with my practice and then created enough space to go full-time and go to Europe for a month last summer. I watched my paycheck grow while I was abroad. And the cool thing is that our paychecks are a direct reflection of the amount of people that we're helping. So as we got more serious, at the beginning of this year, also hit the top position in the company where we have a full health benefits package. I have never had that in my life. And then this summer got married and was able to take off 6 weeks to be with family, do the wedding, and honeymoon most of July in Bali. So here we are. I'm so grateful for what this has created, and I would not have imagined it in my wildest dreams. And we do not share our stories to impress you, but to impress upon you what might be possible. So Christie, I'll pass it back to you, girl.
Thank you, friend. I'm so grateful that this has kind of brought our friendship together, and we get to vacation together here when we decide who's coming to Hawaii or who's coming to Colorado. Thank you so much for getting on. Thank you to my friends on here for taking time to listen. If this intrigues you, it inspires you to learn more, please reach out. I want to have a conversation. And at the very least, I hope it inspires you to dream a little bit more. Maybe ask that what if question. What if my health, my time, my finances could look a little bit different? Thank you guys so much and have an awesome day.